Ben today, and I did think this was interesting because he obviously personally gets attacked a lot for this stuff, and who knows the whole story. I really don't care, but this is what he tweeted anyway. He talked about, and this could go for other influencers as well, you know, that maybe we should have empathy for. I feel it's very hard for me to do that. But like, who knows, the coin bureaus in the world and a lot of the other people that go out of their way to shit on HEX actively.
Yeah.
But Ben today tweeted, and I mean, really, he only showed screenshots of what the guy tweeted. He didn't show any private conversations or anything. But this Nick, no idea how to pronounce his last name. I don't know if it's actually Diamond or Dimondi or Diamond, whatever. But a guy that was the, I don't know, coordinated the content for the BitBoy channel. And then somebody was like, well, if it's the BitBoy channel, why is somebody else making the content? I don't know. But he basically showed all these tweets of this guy over time. He was the guy that coordinated everything at the Hit Network or whatever it's called. And he just posted all these receipts of him this Nick guy was just shitting on HEX all the time, making fun of, you know, investors in the community and stuff like that. Just kind of the typical stuff that like a Bob Lucas or any other one of these types would do. But what do you make of that? Because that is an angle that I will say we don't really, I guess we get into a little bit, but I mean, most people, me included, are so quick to jump to, like, I just criticized Guy from Coin Bureau, which, let's face it, I mean, he's actually tweeted that HEX is a Ponzi and all this, so I don't really respect him very much. But, you know, some of these other people, they may just being hushed by other people that are paying them. You know what I mean? And we've kind of had that conversation, but sometimes we jump just to like, hey, you're who I see on camera. You're the one that's not talking about it. I hate you. You know what I mean? And it's interesting that Ben showed this, like, hey, I would have been interested in talking to this a little more. I hung out with Richard before and stuff like that. But you know, behind the scenes, I'm being hushed to a degree. So what did you make of that?
Well, it's true. It's totally true. We know it's true. RG3 has met a lot of these people, a lot of these guys when they were at Bitcoin Miami. They came face to face with a lot of them, and they were all cool to them. And they flat out said, you know, we're not really supposed to talk about it. We're paid and managed and told what to do shows about, and HEX isn't one of them. So, you know, we know it's true. We know that the gatekeeping is real. They don't want it because it hurts their ethos. It hurts them talking about these new coins or whatever it may be, where they get paid for it. You know, it's a fact of life. It's just like politics. You know, a lot of those guys are kind of paid to pass laws, whether it be in favor of one thing or another. And if it hurts their model, they don't like it. So, I mean, it is what it is. We know it's a fact. The walls will slowly come down. It's the same reason CoinMarketCap doesn't want it listed either, because they can't make money off of it. They were never given an allocation of tokens to list on their exchange. So, you know, it's all this political stuff in the background, and we know that it's there. We know it sucks, and all we can do is just keep shouting from the rooftops like we're doing, and eventually people will hear us, and they will come and they will say, why is all this stuff happening? Why are you being hidden, and why are you being gatekept? Well, we've been saying it for years, right? I mean, we know it's true. We know what's out there, and the backstory, but you know, people are slowly finding out. And, you know, Liberty or Death just said it right there. He does bring some legitimacy to it, to a lot of people. He goes after things. He's all over the place. So, yeah, it can't be a bad thing. Again, somebody else mentioned it in the chat earlier, and we just got to approach it with humbleness. Be humble. Be happy that some of these people are letting their guard down and talking about it and changing their tune. You know, over the last 2 years, I could think of 5 or 6, maybe not by name specifically, that used to hate it, you know, and now they're talking about it, or they have talked about it. That one kid, I can't remember his name, bigger guy, with the blockchain boy.
Yeah.
Yep. So he's
Eric
one.
Hartman.
Yeah. There's been several that I can see, I can picture them and, you know, think about them. But It's happening. It's slowly happening. It will continue to happen. We just got to stop the infighting and the stupid bullshitting back and forth. I get Twitter X is a degen type platform, and when you're in a silo like that, it's going to happen. Hopefully the outsiders maybe don't see that as much as I do, but it is kind of embarrassing when you've got people that are of the same mindset, usually with the same goal in mind. Why? I just don't get the point of like nitpicking each other and tearing each other down. And you've got people preaching how religious they are, and yet they keep tearing people down. I don't get. I just don't understand it.
Yeah.
It's not what I like to see. And I consider a lot of these guys friends. I've met many of them in person. I don't like it, and I hate to see it, but that's
We
just
were
my two
talking
cents.
Well, we were talking about it in the green room. I mean, I think a lot of times it just is simple, like lack of things going on in real life or personal life or something like that. And the importance of Twitter is just way too high for
Yeah,
some people. And that's not unique to Hexaco. I mean, it's not unique to crypto. It's not unique. It's
sure.
I mean, it's the vast majority of the population. So yeah, you're going to have that. You know me, I always like the musical comparisons on here, but like when we talk about like, okay, Hex was your favorite underground band that you and your buddies would go see and nobody really knew about, but they were the next big thing. And, we discovered them together and all this stuff. And then all of a sudden, what the hell? They signed with a major record label. And then you got all these like faux fans coming in saying that you think of like, to use Metallica as a vehicle because everybody was claiming how they sold out, and then that terrible fucking documentary, some kind of monster or whatever, where they all like whine like babies and stuff, and then Lars with the Napster stuff. But I mean, before that, it was like, oh yeah, Metallica, and their original stuff, the Black Album, and then I'm not a huge Metallica fan. I do love the kind of music. I'm just not a huge Metallica fan. But Kill 'Em all that stuff. Everybody loved them. And then later on, it's like, oh, they're sellouts and everything. So you're going to see that dynamic here too. What did Liberty or Death say here?
Yeah, hit the nail on the head. Nobody talked about Hex because they weren't paid. Exchanges aren't listing it because you got to pay to play, and that's this RH tokens are truly the people's crypto, which 100%. I've said it all along. It's going to take longer to build this, but it's going to be grassroots. It's organic, and once it gets going, you can't stop it, man. It's not something that a bunch of people are being paid to talk about, and then when they're not paid to talk about it anymore, they go away, and it just
Right.
fizzles out. When you build something like this, it it just gets such a head of steam, and it can't be stopped. And we're going on 5 years now of flawless operation for a lot of these products. We will be noticed, and we can only reap the rewards later. I mean, you just got to steadfast, keep your eye on the prize, and keep going.
Totally agree. Yeah, I think we're destined for very good things here. So yeah,
Yeah,
just keep at it. It's very hard to block out the noise, especially in crypto, because there's so much shit just flying by you all the time. But yeah, just keep at it and appreciate new people coming to the ecosystem. So